women need a worthy man, and a worthy man, a man can only be worthy if she can look up to him. But in order to look up to him, she needs to sacrifice her cause, in a sense. For us to have a mutual cause, the empowered woman needs to find a man with a mission. So for the empowered woman, the next step is a man on a mission. But in order to find the man who is on the right mission, she needs to suffer first. She needs to face the reality of her success being a prison, being a burden. If a woman is focused on her success, then she cannot be focused on a man. It's just one or the other. It just does not work simultaneously. So that's why, in my estimation, not just Taylor Swift, but I see many, many, many successful women, very successful women, who are of great service to society, but still unhappy. Hi there, Steve Yosh. Topic of the day is Taylor Swift. Why is she unhappy? If she's unhappy. Many have the perception that she is unhappy, despite the fact that she has reached everything humanly possible in her life. Success, fame, wealth. She's moving elections lately. Her influence is unmatched, almost. Yet, many have the impression, and I also sometimes have the impression, that she's not happy in her life. And this is what I have an explanation for, based on my 15 years of consulting experience, based on many hundred human stories. You've seen this model by now, I hope. If not, I'm showing it. It's the development of our identity. This is an evolutionary model. It's like the hero's journey for your personal development. I often call it the prodigal son's journey, but the point really is that we have traditional roles in society, gender roles, the masculine and the feminine roles. There were norms in society, what it meant to be a boy, to be a man, and also same for women, what it meant to be a girl, and then what it meant to be a woman. And these roles are changing of late. So while previously in the traditional norms, or in the traditional family model, it really was the man who was supposed to take responsibility for the life of the family, for the well-being, for the financial safety of the family, and the female role was more an inside job, or a job on the inside of the family. So in the 60s, 70s, it was often the case that only men were making money, men had jobs, and women had these roles within family, roles around the home, roles around children, roles around providing for this community that is the family. And this has changed. It has changed with the empowerment of women, which is great. It really is. I am celebrating that. And this brought along a second phase, sort of a shift, an evolutionary shift, one can say, a shift in society's beliefs and also approaches towards gender roles. And this is what is often called woke ideology, but also one can say, I am of the opinion that it is an evolutionary stage that is necessary to experience. It's an evolutionary stage that we all need to pass through. That's my experience. But also it's an evolutionary stage that's in the middle. It's not the end result. It's not the ultimate state of human identification or consciousness, and also for gender roles, it's not the ultimate version. So in this, while in the traditional or archaic patterns or norms. It was the role of the man to provide for the family. Now we have equality. Now it is equality. Now it's individuality and equality. And we are of the same value. And women are definitely empowered to be successful, but also the same way men are turned down a bit. Some say men are losing their testicles, others say women are cutting off the testicles of men, which often really is the case. It's not, or it is the case in relationships that I have experienced. This is just my experiences. You can hate me, love me, attack me, whatever. This is my experiences. This is my experience in the several hundred stories that I've seen, that women, many feel empowered, but for most men, this is a challenge. For most men, this relationship to this new woman, this queenly goddess type of a woman, is a challenge. And also society is turning men down as of late. There is talk of this toxic masculinity, and it really is toxic. The type of masculinity which is entitlement based and not merit based. Entitlement based, and when I'm saying entitlement based, it means that the masculinity that is based on the mere fact that I am a male human, that is wrong. That is misunderstood. It does not serve the happiness of the individual, of the family, of the society. But those were the norms. That's the first third of this journey. In the second third, we now have equality, and it is my experience, again, just experiences. It is my experience that this is just the middle stage, and there's a third stage where we find purpose, where we find meaning. Man and woman, we find meaning. And while the middle stage is individualistic, it is your success, it's Taylor Swift's success, it's Madonna's success, whoever's success. In the third stage, it is a teamwork. There is a meaning, and there is a purpose that we are both required for. It's after these individualistic middle phase, it's a team job. A team is a family. A team is a man and a woman. We are a team, and this team, the man and the woman, the couple, the family, is incorporated into a larger team, which is families fighting together in a sense, and we have a common purpose. We have a meaning, and this meaning is usually a job that provides for the family, but we are both needed for this success. And in this third phase, in the middle stage, women are successful. But what I have discovered through these 15 years is that at some point, all women they just have enough. That's my experience. That a woman cannot reach ultimate happiness in worldly success. That's my experience. That a woman cannot reach worldly success. A woman cannot reach ultimate happiness in worldly success. But instead, a woman needs a team. A woman also needs a man, and they need to have a purpose together. And in this case, it's a dance. In this case, we can move on. In this case, there is a higher purpose, and we need a higher purpose to form a working relationship. That's my experience. That without a higher purpose, there is no working relationship of a man and a woman. Because if we are not having, because the higher purpose helps us clarify our roles. Because if there is a higher purpose, we have to contribute the best way possible, and also we have to configure our relationship the most successful or most useful or most beneficial way towards the purpose. And it turns out that we have different talents and different strengths. It turns out that men enjoy the fight. Men enjoy the fight in the real life more, and most women, while they need to experience this empowered state of a woman, which I often call the Amazon or the goddess or the queen, is just the middle stage. And then once they had their fill of success, then they start to look for a worthy man. Successful women need a worthy man. They also need, we all need to have relationships, and women want to have a man who is worthy. Women want to look up to the man. It's just a fact of life, a fact of biology. I don't know what, but it is my experience. Again, I'm talking based on experiences, hundreds of stories, male and female human journeys. Women need to look up, and men need to feel supported. And that's just, it's just the deepest desire. I've never seen a man who has the deepest desire of looking up to a woman. I've only seen men who have the desire of being looked up to, being appreciated by a woman. Men, they desire a woman who is proud of them, who can support them, who believes in them. So a man needs a woman who is inside of him, supporting him. And also it is my experience that as a man, I do not function. I do not function without my life, without my wife, sorry. As a man, I do not function without my wife. She has the wisdom. She has the strength. She has the balance that I require. I feel myself in a fight, and it's a great challenge that I have to pursue in life. It's a purpose that gives our lives meaning, my life and her life, our life together. And but I am more directly connected to this purpose, and this is why I'm tossed around sometimes by the great waves, by chaos, by life, by whatever image or metaphor you want to use. And I need the strength and the peacefulness and the wisdom of my wife. I do not function without my wife. And same way, I don't function without my wife. I have the experience of my wife. She has been successful. She has earned a lot of money. She had made a career for herself, but that phase of her life is done now, and she wants to be. It's really strange to say this, but she really wants to be my wife, and I need her to be my wife. And this is how we can have purpose. That's how we can be successful in our endeavors, in our fight, in fulfilling our mission in life. I have this strong sense of having a mission in life. Like preparing these videos, it's a mission that I have after 10 years of talking about this in my native tongue, to start it in English, to start it from new with 0 followers and start it all over again. Even though in my native tongue I reach hundreds of thousands of people, it's a great challenge, and I struggle with this challenge, and I need my wife who would calm me down and give me faith and also resilience that I should just keep up with the good fight, and results will come, and I should not be impatient. All this is with the woman. But back to Taylor Swift. The reason she's unhappy, in my estimation, is that she has a purpose. And it's not quite true, actually. She needs a purpose. The reason she's unhappy is that she would need a purpose. She's a great artist, and she empowered lots of girls and teenagers to move on and to embrace this goddess, this queen-like female state. But that's the middle stage, and she has, in a sense, ran her course doing that. Similar to Madonna before her, or Marilyn Monroe. There have been many inspirers of women, but now she time is a tricky thing. Time is the strongest. Time takes us over eventually, and women need to have. We have this female humans. Women have this biological urge to bear children eventually, and that's a very strong desire also. And in order to have children, women need a worthy man, and a worthy man, a man can only be worthy if she can look up to him. But in order to look up to him, she needs to sacrifice her cause, in a sense. For us to have a mutual cause, the empowered woman needs to find a man who is more thrilling, really is more is just a great, more thrilling for her to participate in the mission of the man. And it's not about finding a man, it's finding a man with a mission. So for the empowered woman, the next step is a man on a mission. But in order to find the man who is on the right mission, she needs to suffer first. She needs to face the reality of her success being a prison, being a burden. If a woman is focused on her success, then she cannot be focused on a man. It's just one or the other. It just does not work simultaneously. So that's why, in my estimation, not just Taylor Swift, but I see many successful women, very successful women, who are of great service to society, but still unhappy. And it's because of this, because a successful woman is for all intents and purposes really a man. Successful woman functions as a man in society, and that's just women need to experience that in order to have a full experience of themselves and an integrated personality. But then at some point this becomes a burden. Success becomes a burden because it inhibits connections, it inhibits relationships. A successful woman can have fans, can have lovers, can have men who really are admiring her, but she cannot look up to a man. That means that she cannot have a real man in her life, as long as she is obsessed with her own greatness and her own success. The price of success for a woman is loneliness, because the highest goal is her own success. It's an individualistic endeavor, instead of joining into a greater purpose. A successful man, a purposeful man in the third phase, joins into a greater endeavor. And well, that's a topic for another video maybe. So keep subscribing to this channel if you're interested. And this is why I see many successful women unhappy, and also the same reason why I see many men banished by society today, or disenfranchised, and I have to look up this anyway. For most men, this global fight on masculinity is really a great challenge. Men need to be men. They need to fight. They need to be masculine. What needs to change is that instead of their egoistic goals like success and fame and money, they need to find the right purpose. So for the man, there is also a middle stage. Like for women, it was the stage of the queen and the stage of the empress and the stage of the goddess and the stage of the Amazon. In the case of man, it's the stage of the explorer. That's the feminine operation of man. Women need to be man in a sense when they're successful, and the same way men need to be women for a little while. Then when they are preoccupied with personal development and therapy and being a good man and a good husband and a good boss and whatnot. That's the middle phase of man, and society is empowering men to be this feminine version of themselves right now, and society is empowering women to be these masculine versions of themselves, successful, like Taylor Swift right now. But that's the price really is loneliness, and the price is dysfunctional relationships and dysfunctional families and divorces. So it's a high price we all pay for this, and we are moving on. I see it in the individual stories, and I'm a strong believer that it's also coming in greater societal trends, that people find meaning, find purpose, and thus by finding meaning and finding purpose, they find the right way to arrange themselves in a relationship, in family, in workplaces, and so on. But the key really is to find purpose for our life, and this is what this model is about: how to find purpose and what the right purpose is, or could be, or should be. So keep watching if you're interested. Thanks for your patience, and keep up the good fight, everybody.